Good morning. I think the first thing we need to do this morning is a check-in on my falling face. If you didn't watch my earlier vlog, I'll kind of catch you up. I had intended to bring my MyoLift QT, which is a microcurrent device, and my Nebulyft, which is a radio frequency device that I use almost every morning, on my trip with me. Well, I wanted to use them up to the last day, and ultimately I forgot to pack them. I packed my gel and everything else, but I didn't pack my devices. Now, would I have chosen to travel without my devices? No, never. But I think in the long run, it's going to be a good thing because we're actually going to be able to see together what happens to skin when you don't use your devices regularly. And I'll tell you, this is such a great opportunity because they really do make a difference. Now, I have been gone about a week and a half now. I've got a few more days before I get back on the plane and fly home. So I haven't used my devices for a little over a week and a half. There are things that I notice on my face that are different and lower than when I do use them. And the funny thing is that I can actually feel them on my face from the inside out. In other words, I don't even have to look in the mirror to know what's happening, and I'll kind of point them out here. And then you guys, if you're interested, you can go back to some earlier videos, just really recent earlier videos, and compare the features on my face then to now, and you'll be able to see the difference too. So I'm going to start from the very top and work my way down. Now I want to let you know that I'm sitting in a room with natural light, which means my skin's going to look pretty good just because natural light is so pretty, but you will be able to see the difference in the contours of my face. Now I think the texture of my skin is looking really good. I've been using some skincare that I talked about in my last video that really has made quite an improvement on the texture of my skin. So my texture's looking good. It's just the contours were getting a little bit lower and a little bit looser here. So starting at the top, one of the things I really notice is look at how low the hoods are on my eyes. They are literally laying on top of my movable lid. If you go back and look at some videos just from a couple of weeks ago, you'll see that my eye generally looks a little bit more like this. And that is from the lifting of the muscles underneath my skin by the MyoLift QT, which is a microcurrent device. What microcurrent does, or one of the things that microcurrent does, is it really stimulates the muscles underneath your skin to actually lift those muscles, which then makes your face look a little lifted and more tightened. So this hooding right here, super obvious to me, and I can fix that in a few days once I get home. And I am going to do some before and after pictures when I get home. So I'll take a picture of my face when I get home, and then I'm going to do some treatments over the next 2 to 3 to 4 days, and I'll post a picture every single day, and we'll be able to see together the improvement of my face. It's going to be pretty dramatic. I know how much these devices do, and you guys will be able to see it too. It'll be really cool. So clearly my hoods are really low, and look at over here on this side. See this little fat pad that is hanging over, that is a result of not using my Nebulyft and my microcurrent. That's going to get fixed in a few treatments when I get home. So that's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed is my 11s. I'm not sure that they're a whole lot worse right now. They're definitely not better, and I can feel this eyebrow, the interior corner of this eyebrow. I didn't even brush my eyebrows this morning. Maybe they're looking pretty funky. This is really hanging a lot lower. I can actually feel this on my face. In addition, underneath my eyes is a lot puffier and looser. And what that is from is not using the Nebulyft. When I use the Nebulyft, which is a radio frequency device, I use it as a lymphatic drainage as well as the radio frequency, and it really does a good job of tightening up and depuffing that area. So you can see this eye right here, I can feel it on my face, and I also can feel it with my fingers. So we've got a lot of puffiness here. Moving down on my face, where I'm really seeing it in the lower half is in my marionette lines. This is from a few different things. First of all, I don't have my Sleep and Glow pillow with me. It's bigger. I'm not going to take that on the plane. And the Sleep and Glow pillow has a little trough in it on the side that when you lay your face there, your face actually stays in that trough and it doesn't get that smushed thing. Well, you can see right here how folded in that marionette line is. That's from sleeping on a regular pillow. I prefer to sleep on my right side. Sometimes I sleep on my left, but generally I will roll over to my right hand side. So you can see how much that has really folded that crease in from my face being smushed all night long. It really does make a difference. And then the last thing I want to talk about, which is just life when you get a little bit older, is my neck. Now my neck does not look as bad as it looked when I first started my skincare routine. I will throw up a picture of a before and after of my neck, and you can see there's a big difference. My neck is getting a lot looser, and look at over here on the right side, again, the side that I sleep on. You can see that it's getting very saggy right in this area, and I almost have no chin definition. That's from a few things. First and foremost, not being able to use my red light every day. At home, I use my red light every day for 10 minutes. And for some reason, what I have noticed is the red light really helps the firmness of my neck. And I am not really sure why. I suspect it's because of the generation of the ATP, which is the adenosine triphosphate that is created from using the red light. And that adenosine triphosphate is the energy or the spark that your body uses to repair your skin. And what I notice is that when I use my red light every single day very regularly, the skin on my neck just looks so much better, which is surprising because you would think that it's not a short-term thing. But I think there's something about that red light that really stimulates my skin, and it really helps my neck look a lot firmer. So you can see that I'm getting a lot of sagging right here. This is also from not using the microcurrent and the radio frequency. Now the microcurrent lifts those muscles underneath my neck, so it makes my chin look a little bit more defined and a little bit more lifted. The radio frequency does too. So I'm not being able to use that right now because I don't have them. So I'm getting a lot looser skin. Now I did bring the City Beauty Invisicrepe Body Balm, which is the only thing that has kept my neck looking even halfway good right now. It does do a good job of keeping the skin a little bit firmer, but it's so much better when I can use the red light, the microcurrent, and the radio frequency. Now, if you're thinking about getting these devices, and it sounds like a lot, I know it sounds like a lot, it's really not. The red light unit takes 10 minutes every morning. I do that while I'm waiting for my coffee to brew. The radio frequency I do use almost every morning, the Nebulyft, because it feels so good. It's warm, it's like a facial massage. It just really helps my skin to look more tightened and lifted and just fresher. And I think that's one thing I'm noticing when I'm looking in the mirror is I don't have that really super fresh, snapped in skin looking situation that I do when I'm using my devices regularly. And then the MyoLift QT, which is a microcurrent device, it works to lift the muscles underneath my skin. You can see I'm really getting some looseness right here. So there we have the update on my 65-year-old falling face. I'm going to go do my skincare now. I don't have anything on my skin right now. And then I'm going to come back and we'll put on some makeup together. Plus, I have a secret and I'll be sharing that next. So I have my skincare done. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home and get my face a little bit more lifted. The sweater I am wearing is from that little boutique in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I've talked about them before, I think. I'm not sure if I posted the video yet that I wore this sweater. Isn't this the prettiest sweater? It has long sleeves. I've got them pushed up a little bit. It is warm here today, but actually this morning is a little bit cooler, so I'm glad I've got this little sweater on. This sweater is so soft and so comfortable, and this little gal actually messaged me. She and her girlfriend have a boutique in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. She sent me some outfits, which I'm going to do a little try on for when I get home. This sweater is one of them. It is so soft and so comfortable, and I love this color. I'll have the boutique listed down below if you guys want to take a look. So I'm going to do my makeup this morning and talk to you about a secret I've been keeping for a few days. I'm going to start with the Stila One Step Correct Primer. This is a good primer. I prefer the NYX Marshmallow Primer, which is so inexpensive. It's a fraction of the cost of this one. I brought this one on the trip because the packaging is pretty small and I gotta use it up. I own it. So if I were you and looking for a primer, I would get the NYX Marshmallow Primer. It's really affordable and really, really good. Many of you have been asking me if I'm going to move to the South. And of course you would ask that. You know, I'm traveling here and looking around at houses and that sort of thing. And the answer is yes. I actually signed a year's lease on a very cute little house right near downtown Aiken a few days ago. I'll have to tell you, I'm really so very excited. And I had thought that for the rest of my trip after I visited Aiken, that I would kind of travel around the state and maybe go up to Tennessee and, you know, look at North Carolina and that sort of thing. I haven't left Aiken. That's how much I love it. It's almost as though I feel at home already. I have just been running my life like I live here. Of course, I'm staying in an Airbnb. I'm not staying in my new place. So what's the scoop with the move? And I'll tell you guys, it's going to be so much fun. Pretty much my schedule now is fly home, pack up, drive back to South Carolina with my dog and my cat. Can you believe it? That's just not going to be fun. But it is going to be fun when I get here. It may seem like this is a impulse decision or a quick decision, but it's really not. It's been years in the making. I actually traveled outside the country for well over a year thinking that I would find a place to live outside of the US. That was a few years ago. So I've been kind of forever home shopping for a while, you know, looking for that one place that I would want to stay for years and years and years and just felt like home. When I moved to the Lake Tahoe area, it really was temporary, and I knew it and I said it at the beginning. I said, you know, I won't be here forever, but I'm going to have fun for a few years. So I moved up to the lake in order to hike and kayak, which are two of my favorite activities. Well, it's sort of worked out and sort of not. I have done a lot of hiking. I've met some great friends and had a lot of fun, but the kayaking hasn't been as much as I had hoped. The first summer I was there, I didn't have my new boat yet. It hadn't been ordered. It was back ordered because the whole kerfluffle thing. And then the following summer we had so many fires, fires. If you know, you know, that we really couldn't go out of the house for about 6 weeks in the summer. It was that smoky. So I didn't get all the kayaking in I wanted. Well, the irony is not lost on me that the very best days for kayaking up at Lake Tahoe are July, August, and September. So the best months. The worst months in South Carolina are July, August, and September. And I'm leaving the best months to go to the worst months. It's not lost on me. Truly, it isn't. You know, I thought if I end up staying up in the Tahoe area and the fires happen again, I'm going to be so frustrated that I didn't go ahead and move. Plus, I was here. I had an opportunity to see the property. It just all seemed to fall into place sort of really very, very magically. This is the Beauty Pie One Palette Wonder. This is in the warm version right here. This is one of the palettes that I brought with me on my trip. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is the Angie 503 brush, and I'm going to dip it into this kind of really light pink color here at the bottom, and that's going to go all over both lids from top to bottom. Tap off the excess. So anyway, here we are. I'm moving to Aiken, South Carolina. Now, is this going to be my forever home? Am I going to put down roots? The answer is, I don't know yet. We'll see. What I have decided is that I'm really going to look at this year in Aiken as a year vacation on the East Coast. Because Aiken is centrally located in South Carolina, I'll be able to drive to different parts of the state pretty easily, as well as go over to Tennessee, up to North Carolina, down to Georgia, even down to Florida. You know, I could visit my friend Lisa from Lisa Monique Beauty down in Destin. So there's just a lot of opportunity to have a lot of fun in the next 12 months once I move to Aiken. But here's where it gets really, really fun. First of all, let me tell you about the rental scene in Aiken. There isn't one. I am not kidding you. There is almost no inventory for rentals. It's crazy. I have never seen a rental scene as tight as this one. So I was looking around at rentals. I was looking on Zillow. There was nothing that I would even consider to rent. It was just a big goose egg. Well, the gal that runs the Airbnb that I went to first, she found out I was sort of thinking about moving here, and she hooked me up with her friend Sissy, who is a real estate agent in the area. Well, I told Sissy, I said, you know, I'm really not interested in buying right now. I really want to rent. And she was up for it. Bless her heart, she found a rental really close to downtown on one of the best streets in the whole area. Cute as a button. It's been redone, remodeled. It's an older home. I think it was built in the early 1900s. This is a Maybelline single shadow in the color Nude Glow. I picked this up at the Walmart a couple of days ago. You know how you go to Walmart and you've got to get household items and that sort of thing, but you always drift into the makeup department? It was one of those. So this home was built in the early 1900s. So it's very, very small. But the owners have refurbished it, and it really is pretty cute. They have done a fairly good job. You know, I would have done a few more things that they didn't do. You know, I have flipped several homes in my life, and what I mean by flipped, bought a home, fixed it up, and resold it. So I understand the process of taking an older home and dolling it up a little bit and making it really a nice place to live. So that's what I've got. Here's the thing. The house is tiny. And when I say tiny, I mean tiny. I'm pretty sure that my 3-bedroom apartment is bigger than this house. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. It does have a nice kitchen area, living room, in addition to a very generous yard. But the yard has issues. First of all, I am moving across the country with just my personal belongings. I'm leaving all my furnishings, my furniture, my dishes, all my doodads and knickknacks and plants and everything with my daughter. She's kind of in that sort of in-between stage of finding a new place to live and really doesn't have any furniture at the moment. She had a few pieces that were old pieces of mine that have been in the family for years that just weren't worth saving. So I said to her, you know, honey, if I do end up moving, would you like all my stuff? And she said, you know what? Okay. So that's going to work out. I'm just doing a really simple one and done today. I'm liking this shadow. This is a great color if you just want something pretty on your lids. Very, very soft, very flattering. So this is Nude Glow. Isn't that pretty? So the exciting thing about me moving across the country with no stuff is that I'm going to be decorating the whole house from top to bottom. It is absolutely bare right now, and I'm going to vlog about it. So it'll be really fun to take a look at what the house looks like now. And I'll do some video of the empty house. So I'm going to be decorating the whole house, and I'm going to vlog it. I am really excited about that part because I love decorating a new home. And this one's going to be easy, I think. It's going to be easy, sort of, because it's really small. I won't need a lot of furniture, but I'm going to have to be very clever about how I decorate it to really take advantage of the very small space. So I'm super excited about that part, and I'm just going to add all of that to the channel. We're going to be able to follow along together on how I make this new house a home. The second really fun thing about this, well, there's lots of fun things, but the second thing that I'm really excited about is it has a fairly good size yard. It has a smaller front yard, but a big backyard, which little Lucy Lou is going to love. It's all fenced. So it's good for her. But the thing is that the landscaping is in horrific shape. And I mean horrific shape. They just have not addressed it at all. And the interesting thing is, and I don't think you guys know this, is that for a period of time in my old life, I owned a landscape and pool construction company. So I know a little bit about putting together landscape. However, I don't know how to put in drip systems. There's a lot of the more technical things. I had a crew, I owned the company. I wasn't out there working in the field. So there's some skills that I'll need to learn to really put together the landscaping on this property. And I'm going to do quite a bit just because I want to use it as an opportunity to understand the soil, the climate, what grows, what doesn't grow. So if I decide to stay in South Carolina, I will have had a full year of educating myself and really understanding how to develop a beautiful garden in this climate. So as you can see, the planter beds in my new digs are in a sorry state of affairs. And we're going to get this all fluffed up and looking pretty. Having once owned a pool construction and landscape company, I can tell you that when you plant something, you probably want to water it. When addressing the landscaping, I'm not only going to be looking at improving the aesthetics of the front yard and the backyard, but I'm going to be putting in a container garden, just containers that I can move with me if I decide to stay and move to a new house that I end up purchasing. It's going to be very interesting to have the opportunity to create decorative landscaping and edible landscaping as well. This is the Beauty Pie One Palette Wonder in the warm tone. It comes in warm and cool. I chose the warm tone. I'm just going to use this for my bronzer today. When it comes to how I ended up choosing Aiken, it really was the small town feel. I was looking for a small, very tight-knit community, really friendly. I mean, it's so easy to live here. I've been here for a number of days now. You don't have to get on the freeway to get anywhere. It's very, very contained. It's so pretty and so relaxed. And I told my daughter, I said, it's just so very pleasant here. This is the CoverGirl, one of their Cheekers blushes. And the reason I picked this up, I got this at Walmart too, is it reminds me of the Poppy blush from Makeup by Mario. That is one of my favorite blushes. That color is just so stunning. But I saw this in the Walmart and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a try. What if it's going to look a little bit like the Poppy blush? The Makeup by Mario blush in the Poppy color has been sold out. It's really been popular, so this might be a second choice. It's a very similar color. It's probably not as pigmented as the Makeup by Mario, and why would it be? It's like $4. But it's pretty. How do you like that? Kind of gives you that youthful pinky glow. Just going to press around the edges with my sponge, just so that I don't have any hard lines on my face. I'm going to go back into the Beauty Pie One Palette Wonder for the highlighter, right over here. A little bit on my brush. I like this palette a lot. I like the bronzer and I like the blush and I like the highlighter. I'm not as crazy about the eyeshadows as I wish I were. However, I keep using them. I just wish they were a little bit creamier. There's a little bit of dust kick up when I use them. It hasn't stopped me. I've used this just about every single day. And at $10, I think it's like $9 and something cents. It's actually a pretty good value. I'm gonna hop off and do my brows and my mascara and I'll be right back. For my brows, I used the Kosas Brow Pop. This is my favorite brow product, and I had never really tried a high-end brow product before this, and one of you suggested it. You know who you are. We've kind of chatted back and forth about it. This is so good. This is in the color Blonde. It's a little bit more expensive, but I love it because not only does it fill my brows in really quickly, it has one of those kind of angled triangular shaped pencils in there that's automatic. But you can do the detail work, in other words, pull out the tail of your brow with this same pencil. I love that. For my eyelashes, I used the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. I've used this so much that it's almost rubbed off the name on the tube. And for my mascara, I have used the L'Oreal Voluminous Noir Balm. I looked on Ulta, and this has like 4 stars out of 5, which surprises me because this is one of my favorite mascaras. Really liking this one. And then I want you guys to take a look at my lashes. Now, I'm not wearing false lashes. These are my lashes. This is from the Ordinary Brow and Lash Serum. They just launched this on Sephora. You can't get it on Ulta. You can get it on the Sephora site and on the Ordinary site. I don't believe it's available at Ulta, just Sephora. They sent this to me 2 or 3 months ago, and I have been using it and testing it prior to the launch. I really like it. I really liked the Bee Beauty serum that I got off of Amazon. Liked that very much. Here are 2 reasons I like this more. First of all, it doesn't make my eyelids red. The Bee Beauty serum did. It made it red on the movable lid. I'm not sure if that was just from increased blood flow or the response to the peptides on the eyelid. I don't know. This does not make my eyelids red, so that's one less discoloration I have to cover up. And this is cheaper. This is $14.50. It's about $10 cheaper. So if you're looking for a lash and brow serum, I can tell you I'm really loving this one. For lips today, I'm going to use the NYX pencil in the color Con. I kind of got a pink thing going on here today. And for lipstick, I'm using Warm Me Up from Maybelline. This color is so dang handy. This is what I keep in my purse for when I just want to put a little bit of something on my lips if I'm out and about or I just ate lunch or that sort of thing. This is the most natural, neutral, pink, your lips but better color. I really do love it. And the cool thing about this is that you can tone it out depending on your lip liner. So if you use a little browner lip liner, it's going to look a little bit more neutral. A pinker lip liner, it's going to look a little bit pinker. It's just really a very, very handy color. And as always, I'll have all the products that I mentioned and used today listed in the description box down below. You know, one thing I have really noticed is that my hair is loving the local water. There's something about it that is just giving my hair more body, and yet it's really super soft. That's a huge plus in my book. Well, I'm off to run a few errands. I've actually already rented a storage unit here in town, and what I'm doing is I'm filling it up with all the things that I'm going to need when I first get here. You know, paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap, laundry soap, although I need to get a washer and dryer. So I've got to take a load over to the storage unit today. That's part of my exciting plans. Here's one of my favorite and most useful travel tricks. I've been using it for years. Whenever I first walk into a new place, an Airbnb or a hotel, whatever it is, I pick a place, and that is where my keys go and my important stuff goes. So I'm never looking for my keys. I always know exactly where they are. This is Boundary Avenue, South Boundary Avenue, which is absolutely gloriously stunning. It is clearly the prettiest street in Aiken and one of the prettiest streets I've ever seen. It's been planted on either side with these live oak trees that then have grown up and created a canopy over the street. It's just so very charming and really beautiful. This is where I've been walking every morning, and it's just a lovely environment, very cool under the trees and just so pretty. Spending the morning and getting my steps in here at Hopeland Gardens in Aiken. This is a public space. It's a public garden. I'm not really sure of the history, but I think I might find out as I go around the gardens and read a little bit more about it. Of course, it's gorgeous. Everything is gorgeous here. Honestly, I think you could spit on the ground and grow something in this area. So I'm going to walk around here, get some steps in, and I'll take you along with me. These live oaks are just spectacular. They're just so incredibly gorgeous and huge, and you pair them with the magnolia right next to it. It's just stunning. Right across the pond here is the Performing Arts stage, and it's my understanding that they do concerts here in the summer and have it open to the public. So what a beautiful venue to sit outside and listen to music, or even watch a play or an orchestra. Oh, just so gorgeous. I just had lunch at Whiskey Alley, which is aptly named because it's actually in an alley. I had to pull out the Google Maps on my phone to find it. I wasn't sure I was going down the right place. It was a good lunch, very delicious. But look at this alley. I want to show you how cute it is. Apparently they have music, live music here on Thursday nights, and it's kind of a thing to come down here and sit outside and have a drink and listen to the music. And there's extra chairs. I think you don't have to be eating at a restaurant in order to do it. I think I might do it this week, so if I do, I'll bring you guys along. Some people love the shoe department in Nordstrom's. I get all swoony in a plant nursery. Can you believe this? This place is amazing. I am here at Grassroots Nursery, which is just a little ways from Aiken. It took me maybe 12-15 minutes to get here. It is stunningly beautiful. I've been to a lot of nurseries in my life. You know, I used to own a pool construction and landscape company, so I know a little bit about the whole process. I was walking around. I met the nicest guy. His name is Ryan. He's the owner.
And he has a YouTube channel. So I want you to say hello to Ryan
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel.
Sure, so I was just talking to Miss Kimberly about, she was walking around with this cool camera, and I was like, hey, what are you doing with that? She's like, well, I've got my own YouTube channel. I said, well, me too. I've been working on mine for about 2 years now, and so it's Going Full Circle is the name of our channel, and it's all about, there's gardening, there's mining, there's DIY projects, all kinds of neat stuff. But the YouTube thing has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited to meet Ryan because, as I've mentioned, the landscaping on the place that I'm moving into is pretty sad, and I want to get it fluffed up in a nice way and keep the major plants like the maples and that sort of thing in pots so I can move them when I go. And I have a new buddy that's
right.
going to help me
and
do this.
We're going to help you make your yard fantastic.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I will have Ryan's channel linked down below. I'm going to continue to walk around the nursery and show you how gorgeous it is here. He owns this and has done a stunning job. It's just beautiful.
All right, so now we are in our latest Atlas greenhouse that has a lot of super rare plants, some of the most rare plants in the world. So we house them here, and then we also propagate them either through cuttings or through cell division in our laboratory, where we make our compost and we grow our beneficial bacteria and fungi. And so all of these guys are just getting ready for sale. So they'll stay back here until the root system develops enough, until they're big enough to then go to the retail area.
All right, these are Monstera albo. This is one of the most rare houseplants available. They're stunning. I think I'm going to get me one of these for Christmas.
So this guy here, this is about a $3,000 houseplant. This is Monstera adansonii variegated. So beautiful, beautiful houseplant, but again, quite rare, difficult to propagate, and not the easiest to grow either, but beautiful nonetheless. Sits here with just a little ball of meat, no feathers. So I've been doing a series on raising Larry. Larry recently got out and flew. That's the pink princess there. She's got a new leaf just unfurled. And tag us on social media. That's so much fun.
I'll tell you, I have had such a good time here at Grassroots Nursery, and meeting the owner, Ryan, that just topped the whole thing off. It is gorgeous out here. He has beautiful property, and he's done so many innovative and creative things on the property. He has, his collection of rare houseplants alone is worth the trip. It's really stunningly gorgeous. So he and I have put our heads together, and remember I said that the landscaping on my new place is pretty tatty, which is kind of a compliment to what it is. He's going to come on out and work with me, and we're going to get that place all fluffed up. And I'll tell you what, gardening is my deal. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about Ryan. We've decided that we're new best friends. We're on a ninja planting mission. Don't tell anyone. So I mentioned that the landscaping at my new place in Aiken is pretty sad. That's a compliment. It's really sad. So I went to the garden center today and I bought some flowers. I have nasturtiums, I have morning glories, I have sunflower seeds, I have a whole mix of flowers with maturation dates of about 40 to 70 days. And I'm going to plant them along one of the fence lines here in the backyard because I'm going to be back in 30 days, so they will have had time to grow a little bit. And then as I'm unpacking and decorating, getting everything settled, I'm going to have some flowers in the backyard. I don't actually take possession of the house for a little while. I think I'm probably legally trespassing, so let's do it quickly before the cops show up. Ninja mission accomplished. I've got all the seeds in the ground, watered them in really well. You know, since I've been here, it's rained in the afternoon, just a short amount of time, about every third day. Hopefully they'll get enough water to get them going. I'm really excited to come back and see how they've grown and if I've got some color back here. Today is my last full day here in Aiken, South Carolina. I've spent, I think, a week here. It's been so fun. I've done a lot, accomplished a lot, had a great time. It's going to be a fairly relaxed day. I am going out to brunch this morning with my new friend Jen. We're so excited about that, and of course, we all know where we're going. The Neon Fig. Jen is a vegan. I like things organic, so this was a good choice for the both of us. After that, I'm just going to relax, pack up really slowly. Tomorrow morning, I drive back to Greenville. We'll stay overnight there, and then I'll fly out the next day. Good morning! I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to be here. Yay, my new friend.
But I think a lot of people have just, okay, I'll go back in now. Okay, I'll go back in now. I'll go back in now.
Thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate you. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.